Welcome to the Big Mike and Little Ant channel today. And today, instead of an actual show, we're going to do a review, which we started our channel doing. And we will be reviewing the movie Extraction, which stars Chris Hemsworth, which is on Netflix right now. I'll tell you guys what we did. We both actually watched the movie simultaneously last night from different locations, of course, practicing social distancing. And we thought we would review it today without any us giving each other any thoughts on what we thought about the movie to see what you guys to let you guys know what we think and what you should do about watching it or not. Correct, Tony?
100%. It was really cool that Mike and I are doing what we started off doing. We both love watching movies. It's our favorite pastime. And we both thought it would be cool to come together and review movies. And so here we are, guys. So let's jump right into it. What I thought was cool, and I didn't realize this, was the Russo Brothers did it. You knew that?
They produced the movie, yes,
Yeah.
I do. And Joe wrote it. Yeah, I did the screenplay for it. I did see that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was like, oh man, Mike didn't mention that too. Well, it's cool because we barely said anything to each other.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing. Mike's gonna be the guy who give you all of that extra tidbits and the good stuff called behind the scenes. I'm about that entertainment and action. All right, dude. I say this. I sat in my seat and I was entertained. I liked it a lot. And I'm a old school action guy. So my favorite genre of movies growing up was action. I'm from the Jean-Claude Van Damme world. Sylvester Stallone. Like I like that back in the day. Not even Sylvester Stallone, but I like that back in the day, hand to hand.
Steven Seagal. Yeah.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. And we always would sit back. Who's the best martial art guy? But I was highly entertained. And again, this is going to be spoiler free. It was really good. I think what was cool was wondering, I never looked at Chris Hemsworth if he's an action guy or not. I didn't see Point Break, so maybe he is. But I always seen him as Thor and stuff like that. Yeah. But it was good, man. It was really entertaining. I think the writing was really good for me. I was into it, and also the twists and turns. Like I start off watching it, and if you guys seen the trailer, it's about a guy pretty much is in jail and his son get kidnapped, and someone has to get his son back, pretty much, right?
Right. So they call in a guy who's known for doing this extraction, basically.
Right. Yeah. And so just jump in there a little bit.
So well, first of all, Chris Hemsworth was not in Point Break, so that's why you didn't see him in it, because he was not in that movie.
Okay.
It's a running joke in the Marvel movies because he looks like the guy who played in Point Break, but he wasn't in Point Break.
Okay, got you. Because I mean, even what was in Infinity War recently? No, it was in Ragnarok, yeah, when he mentioned Point Break, and I didn't see it, so I was just like, oh well, I just assumed that was him then.
No, he looks like the character in there, so that's why they call him that. No, I'm the same way. Like I mentioned this in one of our other shows, not ours, but other shows I've been on. But I didn't feel like Hemsworth was able to carry movies outside of being Thor, and the last thing he did outside of being Thor was the Men in Black International, which I thought was trash, overall. For a lot of different reasons, and they try to add some comedic touch to Men in Black with him, trying to keep on that whole, I guess, Ragnarok Thor. Mm-hmm. But for me, it just didn't work for that movie. But for this Extraction, he was about that action, boss.
Yeah,
he was all business, all the time. The action, okay, I'll go first. The action choreography in this movie is excellent. It's almost flawless. It's perfect. The shoot 'em up, bang bang parts, the hand to hand combat parts. They have high speed chase scenes in the movies, like most of these action movies have. And I thought the cinematography, like the camera angles they use, especially during the like car chases, things like that, I thought was wonderful. Yeah. I was surprised with it being a Netflix movie that it came off so well as far as the action is concerned. Right. I thought Hemsworth did a wonderful job being that like a action star, which was resembled like a back in the day action star in this movies. And this movie's meat and potatoes. Like I will say, like the story is a good story. I could say some of the plot devices for me didn't work as well, but I was entertained throughout. It definitely gave me what I was looking for. all the way. And again, I was surprised with it being a Netflix movie, and I heard some bad things about it. So before, so I didn't really go in expecting too much, but it definitely
Okay.
met or surpassed my expectations. I will say
So
that.
what was cool for me is the first time I heard about it, I seen a post on Facebook. A buddy of mine said watching Extraction, and he said it was good, or he's watching it, right? And I was like, oh well, we've been watching movies lately. I'll watch it. And then you mentioned watching it, and I was like, oh wow, so like I guess this is like the movie now. Everybody's watching. And
Right.
even last night we was watching it, or if you look on Netflix, it said #1 movie on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, I was like, okay, so this is like the new movie. So, but I didn't hear any good or bad, which I like to do that. So when I went into it, like I didn't even know what type of movie it was when I went into it. When
Oh
I
wow.
when I went on Netflix, it was the first movie, and I just pressed play. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna watch it, so let's press play. And with the title Extraction, I thought it could have been about a couple different things, but it really sold itself from that title to Chris Hemsworth character getting in, supposed to get out. And I also thought the plot was cool. It had some it had some twists. Like, it's a movie having a twist is always pretty cool. And it had a couple of different like twists and turns that
Yeah.
like kept you engaged and kept you wondering, like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Like, in the beginning moment, kind of like the first twist, without saying, I was kind of
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Like, hold up.
So there's a part where David Harbour's character comes in the movie. David Harbour, who also is in Stranger Things. He's playing the guy who's in the new Black Widow movie with the shield and stuff like that. David Harbour. So when he comes in the movie, I actually could predict what was going to happen with that.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. The twists were there, but some
Right.
were more predictable because you've seen it in other action movies, in your
Right.
life and stuff like that.
Yeah, that
So
that was predictable, but what I was more or less is like when they went to get the kid in the beginning, um that I didn't see coming. Like, I knew it was too early in the movie. Like, I even said it as we was watching it. I said, oh, what if this movie is only about, in the beginning, is him get the kid, bring him back, and then it's about a whole different story, because it was so early. It's like, okay, everything looked like it's fine. Usually that part doesn't play out to the end of a movie where they're gonna go rescue or whatever, but
yeah,
it's happened so early that I was like, okay. And then they threw in that twist. Like, I called the guy, I said he looked like the Indian John Travolta. The guy had his hair slicked back. Yeah.
yeah. His character, he was Sanju in the movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. He he was good actually too. He did his part with the action altogether,
Yeah.
and that part was a little bit of a twist. I definitely agree with that. Um, I will say that Hemsworth didn't have many layers to me as a character, so that's what I
Right.
didn't like as far as the movie is concerned. But again, the action kind of took over for me to where
Right.
like the things that I didn't like was kind of like went down here
Right.
because the action and the fight scenes were so great, and I saw what he was trying to do.
Right.
I thought the kid, you know, he just didn't kind of show any emotion enough for me as far
Right.
as the kid's character
I agree.
is concerned. And the ending, like the actual like the ending, I will say I wasn't really pleased with that. But it's such a good like throughout the movie as far as like the the pacing I will say is great and the action that it keeps you entertained throughout. So
Now,
that's
the
my
cool
opinion.
thing about the ending, after this is over, I'm going to talk to you about it, and I'm
Yes,
going to ask you, But
yes,
yeah, I agree with you with the kid. I feel like they were trying to sell a really good moment, and you'll know what I'm talking about. The kid was
yes.
asking questions, and I feel like if you want it to be real, the realism of it is like, you're not going to be like, that part was a little cheesy for me. And I
Me
feel like
too.
either the kid just wasn't dialing in enough, or he was trying to dial in too much. I feel like that scene, I guess, what was going on at the time in the movie, I just felt like it was a little off for me.
Me too.
But
Me too.
like you said, the parts that you wasn't that into was very few and far, and then they got
Yes.
right back into the parts you did like, which make it, for me, if we're all quarantined, you got to watch the movie.
Yeah, I will say definitely watch the movie. Be in quarantine, you will be entertained. If you're an action junkie, you'll be even more entertained. So I will say
Yeah.
that. So what would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10? How about that?
A 1 to 10. You know what? I'm an entertainment guy. It gets a solid 8 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was highly entertained, but there's some things I didn't like.
Right.
So I would give it a solid 7, which means it's worth a watch.
Yes.
I'm not going to get rid of things that I don't like, but I will say it's a solid 7
Right.
for me. So definitely, I will say watch it. And Hemsworth pleasantly surprised me with him playing, outside of Thor. Like, again, it
Right.
was more meat and potatoes, wasn't very layered, but I think it worked out for him perfectly, overall.
Yeah, I agree. I was into him, and I feel like maybe his character, the way they made his character, was good for him. Like you said, you feel like he didn't have many layers, but I think when you're in the public eye as some big character, and then you try to be all the way away, the people critique you too much. So I feel like maybe that's why he didn't have that many layers. He was who he was, and he stuck to it, and that was pretty much it. They didn't get too involved in his character.
Yeah, yeah. And also I will say the the premise of the movie, extraction and someone being a person that will extract people for hire, that
Mhm.
can be a whole series, kind
That's
of
true.
like a John Wick or whatever you want to call it, where it can
Right.
be several movies, especially on Netflix, where you can do it. I can see that being like Extraction 2, you know what I'm saying? Extraction 3,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. So I could definitely see that being a series. And if it keeps that same amount of pacing and action, I will continue to watch myself
I
personally.
agree. Now, would you continue to watch if the next part two is someone else? So it's
Yeah,
Extraction, the series, but they could swap out into somebody else.
yeah, I would if the series if the plot is just about them getting a person who does this well, but it's a different actor. Yeah, because
Gotcha.
again, he didn't have any layers anyway, so I felt like any action star could have really played the character.
Yeah,
It's not like got to be Hemsworth or nobody. I didn't feel like that. This is the Chris Hemsworth role. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
got it.
when I watched this. So, but that's our review. We keep it short and sweet because we
Right.
have another, a show coming to you next week, Big Mike and Little Anthony. However, we do want to know what you guys think. If you saw it, definitely go see it yourself, and of course, like, comment, and subscribe. Anything else, Tony?
Dude, you took it away, guys. Everything Mike just said, I second that.
All right, thank you.
All right.